Does being toxic make you win more in Rocket League? That's what we will try and find out in my 10 placement matches and 2v2s for the new season that just dropped. Rules for the positive games: no warm up, 5 games, only positive chats, only positive mindset. And the rules for the toxic games: also no warm up, 5 games, toxic chats, toxic mindset. We will play these games in 2 blocks of 5, so 5 positive games today and 5 toxic games tomorrow. So the no warm up policy also applies to the toxic games because they will be played after the positive ones. And for context, last season I peaked in Diamond 3 and finished in Diamond 2 in 2v2s, so I'm pretty much pushing champion. So let's see if there is any difference in playing positively or being toxic and how that will impact our win total. We start off the 5 positive games in pretty good spirit actually. I was feeling pretty good about myself. I haven't played Rocket League in quite a while. I haven't played towards the end of the season, but I was playing okay, and we got off to a good start with this shitty ass goal, to be real. But don't worry, they get it back really quickly. As you can see, we are watching the kickoff right after the goal we scored. Could have done better, but haven't played in some time and just the instincts weren't there, to be honest. Here I get a pretty good save for a diamond, and we actually get a chance to counter. But firstly, I have to get rid of this shot, and now we're off. Of course, we didn't score from there, and we get scored on in the counter in the final few seconds, and we actually lose game 1. So that is 0 from 1 currently. Going into game 2, I was also feeling pretty well. In my notes, I have it as the positivity was actually feeling okay in the first 2 games, but we get off to a good start again, but we concede pretty quickly after that. And just the feeling was okay. I didn't notice the chats having effect on my teammate. Like I was telling nice shot, great pass, everything, nice block, what a save in the good context, but it just didn't seem to get my teammate playing any different than they would if I didn't speak at all. So that's an interesting observation that I've had. I expected them to have a little bit more of an impact, but it just didn't seem to phase my teammate at all. And we actually get the lead in this game, 3-2, but we won't be able to keep it with this performance right here. And we actually head into overtime. And as you will see pretty quickly, we don't manage to win it. At the 3-minute mark in overtime, we lose our second game, so that is 0 for 2 right now. Now I was pretty frustrated, and in game 3, my teammate did not play, so I was playing a 1v2 in my placement matches, which isn't the greatest. And I actually managed to score, and I managed to keep it pretty competitive. And I was not being toxic. Oh, what a save! I had to what a save myself, but I had to get in touch to stay positive at this point. I was getting pretty frustrated and even angry at some times that things weren't going my way, and being a man down in my placement matches, you just can't get over that. Game 4, we start off brilliantly again, and here just the head loss was too much. I have to play these 5 games in one sitting to make it make sense, But if I could, I would have stopped playing because things just weren't going my way. I was just losing the ball. I was just playing like I was frustrated. And there is a train coming by. Nice. Train passed. But yeah, as I was saying, it just didn't feel good. I didn't even record game 5 because we lost that also. So we finished 0 and 5. The Toxic games weren't actually played the day after, but 2 days after, which helped massively in my mentality because I pretty much forgot that I went 0 and 5 in the first 5 games, and it just helped me not thinking about the little details that I thought about towards the end of the positive games. We start off again pretty well by scoring, but we do get scored on right after. But from that point on, we were playing amazingly. The toxic chats were flooding. I was just being mean, and it felt really good at the beginning, to be honest. I did notice the toxic chats having a lot of impact on my opponents. Like they were playing on emotions strictly, and it just made winning easier. But I do have to say, at one point you do just think about the fact that you're being toxic to another human being. And actually, in the, I don't know if it's the second or the third game, my teammate started apologizing for my toxic chats, which made me feel even worse. But I guess sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Uh, the toxic chats just had a lot of impact, and if you aren't very moral, I suggest you use them because it just made winning easier. So as you saw, we won our first game. In our second game, we are also winning 3-1, and things were just flying. I was feeling super good about myself. I didn't record my live audio, but I was just telling myself like I'm the best player in the lobby. I was telling my teammate to leave the ball to me because they don't know anything. If my opponents actually did something, I would just say that they are cheating or that they got lucky. So that is the point that I want to focus on because those little details made it a lot easier to process the frustrating details about this game. Like in the positive games, I would just get frustrated because I didn't have an outlet. But in the toxic games, even if things weren't going my way, like the 50-50s aren't going where I want them to, or I make a mistake, the anger or the frustration would quickly turn into laughter because I would just make silly statements like the opponents are cheating, they're using wall hacks, how did they know that I was there, or stuff similar to that. So that is also a big plus in my opinion because you don't get frustrated as easily if you do such things. As we can see in game 3, we are also wiping the floor with our opponents. I was just telling them to forfeit, and they did. So we are 3 for 3 in the Toxic 2 games. So a staggering difference opposite to the positive games. In the next game, we start off pretty badly, conceding actually 3 goals. And to be honest, I wasn't actually that frustrated. It was just like, okay, we can get it back. We are good enough to get it back. And that is also a big difference. I was just playing way more confidently while I was trash talking and trash talking in the game chat and trash talking in real life. Like my gameplay changed from the positive games towards the opposite of the negative games. So in total, I would actually say that the toxic games were A, more fun, B, more efficient, and C, the feeling of the feeling of just playing was better. I was feeling better. I was playing better. I had more fun. But there is that downside to um, trash talking in all chat and saying mean things to real people. That is a big negative for me. But if you aren't moral, that is not that big of a deal. So this is the fifth game. We lost the fourth game, and as you will see pretty quickly, we lost the fifth game. So all in all, the toxic games just were more efficient. The positive games we went 0 and 5, and the toxic games we went 3 and 2. So that is a big difference, but we also have to consider that this is a small sample size. 10 games is pretty much nothing, 5 apiece. But it does make you think about the difference in gameplay that you saw and the difference in mentality that I am telling you. We actually got our rank, which was Platinum 3, which is abysmal. So we will have to grind our way up the diamond ladder in order to maybe become champion this season. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have something to say about this topic, leave a comment. If you watched this far, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you haven't enjoyed, well, fuck you then. Why are you still watching? And yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.